stuff
on this
before
computer. Oh, right. We should be up and running. Okay, guys, thanks for joining Battle Buddies live this evening. We have a mystery man with us this evening.
Yeah.
So I'll let him introduce himself. He's the notorious one on the notorious troll is probably the best way to put it on Facebook. I'll let him introduce himself, and then we'll get into what we're going to discuss this evening. And like always, feel free to add some comments in the chat message section, and we will answer those as we see them, if we can. And we have the notorious one with us this evening. You want to introduce yourself, fella?
Yeah,
And a little
known
bit.
as Oogie Boogie on the page. That's my only Facebook account, so it's not a fake account. My real name is Andrew Sepe. I did 10 years as an infantryman in the U.S. Army, and I did IT school, studied networking when I got out, tried out a couple other schools, and then, I knew Chuck, came across, turns out we were in the same unit, and here I am.
Wow.
Third ID representing.
Yep.
Yep. So Pete, you want to introduce yourself, because we do get some new fellas on the regular.
Yeah, I'm Pete Lavelle. I have rezbuilder.com, rez-builder.com. I'm the resume resource for the group. I also have a lot of crossover into LinkedIn, interview coaching, and all that good stuff. So happy to be here.
So, and just to level set, guys, what we're going to talk about tonight and do a walkthrough on is some LinkedIn basics again. So we did this last week. There's probably 10, 15 minutes that could have been cut out of it. It would have been one of the best sessions we ever had. So now, tonight, Sepe is going to kind of be the average Joe fella, asking us some questions as we run through things to discuss what we're going to do. So at the highest level, what we're going to do is we're going to pretend like we're in a daily job search. We're going to find a job that's appropriate for someone. We're going to use myself as the dummy that we beat up on tonight. And we're going to take a look and see how someone like myself would score in these applicant tracking systems. So, this is one of those big brother apps that gives someone a score as to how well or how poorly their resume matches up with the posting. Pete, what am I missing on that as far as ATSs go?
Well, ATSs, as we know, are really basic in their capability to manipulate or to take in documents. It's a database. So they'll take in a document, but not necessarily they can do it cleanly. So your document has to be simple. When you do that, simpler the better. And I'm talking about simple fonts, more universal fonts, no special Microsoft Word toys in it. And that'll get you through the ATS a lot better. I mean, no text boxes, no tables, no columns. Don't bury your contact information in the header and footer. All that stuff gets ignored by these systems. If it's readable, tables are readable, but they don't come out right. I mean, you could stick a table in a certain spot and it works on your document, but it'll come out somewhere else and after it gets reconstructed through the ATS. Does that kind of address what you're getting at?
Sepe, we confuse you yet?
No, I was actually going to ask why you don't want to use the special symbols in a Word document, but you nailed it. Mm-hmm. You got it. You got to it before I asked.
I tell people that literally 3 times a week.
I believe it. I've done that mistake. I made a resume and I used bullets, because that's how we thought. Bullets everything, right? And then I sent it to somebody.
Basic bullets will work, and they'll just translate. They'll come out as asterisks on the through when they get rinsed through the ATS. So bullets are okay, but if you're, like I said, a lot of people will have table. I'll get resumes from people, and this is the one you use, yeah, and it's full of tables because they grab a Microsoft template, and the Microsoft template is loaded with with Microsoft features like tables and columns and things
Yep.
like that. So and just so you know, guys, if you're starting a resume and Word comes up and says, "Looks like you're doing a resume. Would you like help?" and you say, "Yeah," and you build your resume in one of those templates, the recruiters have seen them all. There's not that many templates that they haven't seen them all. So be original and do your own thing.
At least fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
So, hey, Kurt, I see you jumped in. I don't know how your service is. If you're able to speak and want to introduce
All right.
yourself.
I'm at work at the moment.
Okay. And
beauty of the
you
internet.
wanna tell us? I can't
Can you
believe
hear me?
that. Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So this is rare. We get two Dirty 11 Bravos in the same evening. You want to introduce yourself and military background and kind of your participation with Battle Buddies? And you got to make it quick because we're going to lose people.
Yeah, 11 Bravo.
Bravo.
How did I hear Battle Buddies? Oh, yeah, from Nathan Thompson.
All right.
My coworker's joining me because I'm in the middle of work right now.
Okay, I'm gonna turn your video off, and we're gonna
Anyway,
back into this. Okay.
Yeah, went to one of your meetings and hit it off. So here I am.
Going on your way to DC because of it.
It's awesome, man. It's a great
Right.
story.
Right. Okay. Hey, Kurt, I'm gonna turn your video off.
My volume on my phone is really low. So I'm gonna try to put in some buttons.
Everything.
All right, I just muted him. All right, getting back to business. Back on track. So I'm gonna do a screen share here. Fire this thing up. And so here's what, you guys can see my screen, right?
Yeah, we're getting a replay.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is pretend like I am going to search for a job. And since I have beer as a recent job, we will click beer. So when you get into the jobs section on LinkedIn, it's right up here at the top. There's a little briefcase. And what this is going to do, it's going to take a lot of the analytics that LinkedIn uses in the background to give you some optimal job positions, okay? So this is saying that I'm a top 25% for a few of these jobs here, top 50 for Be the Match in town here. So digital sales product manager. So apparently I have a background that's appropriate for that. It's a half-hour commute downtown, Cognizant, which is not too far from where I live on the south side of town, 25%, 22 applicants. But let's say that I've already applied to those, or I don't like the companies, or those just don't seem like a good fit because I want to get in the beer industry. Actually know a lady pretty well that that's her story, that I used to work with at Polaris, and she quit her job there, and now she's chasing her passion, and she's an Air Force vet too. We'll see if we can get her out of here one of these times. Yep, amazing human. So let's say that I was interested in this retail sales manager, wine, craft beer. Now, here's where guys like Pete really come in handy, is in the resume optimization piece of looking for a job. The number one thing that you should always do is networking. But if you're going to be a good networker, you better give that human the best piece of paper that you can produce so that you don't make that person look like a knucklehead.
Yep.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Good way to put it, don't you think?
There's two opportunities in the modern world to make a first impression, and neither of them involve face-to-face contact. One is your resume and one's your LinkedIn profile.
So going forward with that, what happens in the background, if you guys hit this in easy apply thing, okay, is you're going to hit what's called an ATS, an applicant tracking system. And that thing is going to score, it's not going to score you, it's going to score how well you wrote a resume to match this posting. It's just that easy. And look, $12 to $16 an hour, that's a little bit below my budget. That's what my kid makes working at the Gap at the mall, and he's 16. And you can see seniority level, mid-senior. well, we'll humor ourselves here, and we'll put this application through. So what I'm going to do, and I already preloaded one of my old LinkedIn profiles, is Pete and I've got this little handy ATS tracking score thing here. And I'm going to post in the job description in here. I'm going to unclick. Oh, I guess okay. I have to do it this way. So it's a specialist, but that's a mid-senior level, Pete, right? Because somebody obviously clicked the wrong stuff in LinkedIn. And this is going to take I'm on my 9th iteration of profile optimization for LinkedIn, just to give you an idea of the level of effort in each of those iterations. Easy, I'm pretty proficient at this, easy a half hour for me. Pete, that's pretty safe, wouldn't you say, for yourself when you're working on someone's stuff?
Yeah, once you become familiar with your profile, you know your way around it. It doesn't take that long anymore. Like anything, just practice.
I'm gonna hit the scan button, and we're gonna see how well I do at an entry level job with my current LinkedIn profile the way it is. We're gonna get a score. It's got to be 80 or above to trick the ATS that says I'm actually qualified. Boom, and we're at 69%.
Whoa.
As ironic as that may be.
That's a D.
It's almost a C. Almost.
I'm glad you see the glass half full.
So if you guys are wondering in the background how you're kind of getting screwed over, if you want to call it that, it's not what's happening. It's that there's all of these analytical computer programmers in the background that are saying, how many times does this guy have beer mentioned in his resume? How many times does he have regional manager in his thing? What are the measurables? How many times does he have measurables listed in his resume? So we'll go through some of this stuff that's going to increase your LinkedIn score, okay? So we're doing some basics here. So full name. And now here's one thing. If you're on a smartphone, it's going to be really, really hard to see. But this right here, if you don't have a profile photo of something, even Sepe's little smiley face, 21 times the profile views. If you're trying to market yourself and you're a ghost, no one's going to find you.
No.
Okay? 36 more times likely.
Just assume that you're not really paying attention to your profile.
Exactly. To get a message, no one's going to hire a ghost. Period. So if put your MSA or your metro area that you're in, make sure that's in there, and the industry that you're in. Now, some of this is going to vary on each of these things, but I'm just going to touch them at a real high level, okay? So length of the headline is good. That's that technology, strategy, all of those things. If you just put in there that retired Army guy, you can get a shitty score. So you can see that I didn't put specialist into my profile. I got dinged on that. My education, apparently an MBA is either too much or not enough for an entry-level job. I don't know what it is. My point is that we are in the age of technology where you have probably a younger HR specialist looking at your stuff on first pass, and Pete's got a son that's in his early 20s. And if it's not on Twitter, if it's not on YouTube, if it's not on Facebook, if he doesn't click something and it comes back with a probability number, it doesn't exist. These are the speed bumps that you are up against. So you have to optimize these types of things. Okay?
Yep.
So length of my summary apparently is good. Pete, what do you get? 4,000 characters in there?
2,500 characters in your summer. 2,500. That includes space. So that comes out to somewhere between 500 words, 500-600 words. That's a page worth of writing. So
guys, this is a free billboard for you to put it up on the list. So don't sell yourself short. Don't put I'm good at selling beer and think that somebody's going to be impressed. We're going to stick with beer more often, I think, when we talk about this. How many? We got any? Oh, we got a couple comments. All right. So the summary, you know, the tone of your stuff. Here, measurable results. I don't have enough measurable results to be a salesperson to sell entry-level beer.
Oh,
I can't even sell Bud Light.
Beer juice.
Right. Gives us some examples. History's good. Short-term gigs, none are there. Specialist in the job title. So if you want to be a regional manager or a customer service specialist, or I don't know, a dump truck driver, that should be in your job title somewhere. Hopefully it's in there. Measurable results, word to avoid, no cliche type of crap, none of that. So here's all of the, I would call these table stakes things listed in here. Now, the part where you're going to really make your difference is, okay, I guess I did pretty good on the skills. Typically speaking, at the more senior levels, you're going to find that the hard skills and the soft skills are typically the things that we find missing. Pete, yes, no on that? Hard, soft skills missing? Is that what you're seeing on this?
Yes. No. Yeah, absolutely. And they're all important because after the ATS, after you pass this, a human eventually is going to look at it. So you want to have some emphasis on your soft skills, but definitely as far as the tools that they're looking for, the hard skills, you need to have those in there. If you don't have them, maybe this ain't your job.
Okay. So if I had my heart set on one of these jobs, now a lot of you guys have got a craft, okay? You can really tailor your LinkedIn and your resume to be probably 80-90% accurate to the jobs that you're going for. If you're an operations manager, you're not going to have a lot of variances in your resume and your LinkedIn, typically speaking. If you get into some of these leadership roles, that's kind of a crapshoot, is pretty safe to say. So this is why 69%, this is probably a reason why just applying online is why you're getting your ass handed to you, to be straight up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So if you don't have a resource like myself or Pete to run this stuff for you, don't play the resume only game or the apply online only game. You have to have a multi-pronged approach at this.
JobScan, is it jobscan.us or jobscan.co?
.co.
You can do a few of these tries for free, these analyses. You don't need us to do it. I mean, we're not the only means to scoring your resume like this. So just go ahead and you guys just go ahead and do that when you're applying for a job. One size fits all resumes are a myth, and you really need to tailor it for that job. I mean, if you want that job, why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? And all this points to something that I heard years ago, that finding work is work. It's a full-time job. So doing these kinds of things that you have to do to your resume to make it work for that one job, but it's worth it because you're going to be doing that for quite a while, you know, and you obviously are excited about it enough to apply for it. So, you know, consider that you want it. And if you do, then go ahead and invest the time to do it right. This is probably, when I was in the job hunt mode, I was probably spending 8 to 10 hours a day, and I may apply for 2 jobs.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. So it's not unusual. And I know a lot of guys out there, I'm going to take us on a tangent a little bit, are in the trades, you're in the unions, you're looking that way, and you're like, I have no need or desire for a LinkedIn profile. I don't need it. And that's true just to a point, because actually you do need it, because it's not about the people who can find you. It's about you finding them. And the only way you're going to do that is through LinkedIn. Otherwise, it's pounding the pavement networking.
So if you can apply for one job per day with one crafted resume per day, you're going to be a hell of a lot more effective than if you apply to 100 jobs online, unless it's just a straight up entry level beer sales job for, what was that, 12 to 16 bucks, Pete, is what we saw.
Yeah, they'll take out your really main qualifications there is that you can draw air in your lungs like this, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So those kind of gigs, we're not talking about those. We're vets. We don't need that kind of work. We're better than that. We can get more. Honestly, that's not blowing smoke. We have a skill set unique in the workplace, and there's no reason to settle for 12.
No. if you just need a bridge job, or we've had guys come in that, they're like, I want to be a dishwasher. And it's usually the infantry guys too, is what I've noticed. And they just want to do that for a while, kind of take a break from society and throw on the headphones and crank up Metallica all day or whatever. Hey, that's cool. But when it's time
I
to,
feel personally attacked right now.
there's two of you. But I mean, seriously, Sepe, we see this all the time. Don't feel.
No, it's true. It's true. There was really the time when I got out and I was like, I don't really want anything to do with people. Like, give me an office, put me in a cubicle away from people in a dark room, and I'm great.
Yeah.
And then, as time went by and I got used to the civilian life, it's like, okay, I need more.
Yep. And when that time comes, this is one of the building blocks that you absolutely need to be using. If you don't, big mistake.
Now, the score option, does it have to be paid LinkedIn account?
So here's one of the things is on JobScan. It's jobscan.co. You guys can see that up at the top there.
Okay.
I think you get 15 or 25 scans on your resume.
Okay.
This is like next level scanning with the LinkedIn profile. This is a premium service we pay a lot of money for every month here. So you won't get this, but if you just use the resume scanner, you'll be hand grenade close.
Okay.
Yep.
No, because I'm saying that is a very useful tool. Unfortunately, it looks like it has to be a paid account that you have to access. Because this would be very easy to submit an app, see what's wrong, go edit your profile, and then resubmit. Yeah, that's what I would do. If I was like, "Hey, my score sucks."
Yeah. So, and here's the thing too, okay, is you have to be a creative writer when it comes to this stuff. If you think about where we're at, right? Unless you're up on a telephone pole, stringing fiber optics or whatever, chances are, even in that job, you're going to have some pretty good basic communication skills. You're going to have some technology skills. You're going to have to turn in, get your work orders on the phone, turn in your time cards on the smartphone, know where the hell you're going on your phone, be able to communicate back to the office, things that you're missing. There's a lot of things, even in the trades, that a lot of guys overlook that will set you apart from the other people that are applying for these jobs. So, having a LinkedIn profile for the trades, a lot of guys poo-poo it, but they're wrong. They're just wrong.
Yep.
So if you can't communicate, it's the difference between, $18 an hour and 22.
Yep.
You're worth it to communicate.
Exactly. You want to be the lead or you want to be the guy with the shovel. It's your choice. Most of us have been in some leadership positions, even if you're in the E4 Mafia. You get the brand new, smokers and jokers or whatever. I don't know what they call it these days. I've been out for over 20 years, but you're in charge of someone. You're the lead dude, right? That gets stuff done behind the scenes. So, the field doesn't work any different than that.
I think a lot of vets also underestimate their leadership position because you might have thought that you were never handed any responsibility or leadership, but when you get out in the real world and you spend enough time, you realize that you were ages ahead of everybody when it comes to being responsible and taking initiative and leadership overall. You've been taught leadership without you even knowing you're taught leadership.
Yep, exactly. I've said this many times. I've been through an MBA program, and I learned more from the Army as a specialist going into. We had PLDC back in the day. You're probably barely. You PLDC guide, Sepe?
Yeah, it's WLC. They changed it when I went in.
So I learned more in that school about leadership than I did in my whole MBA program, which is pretty pathetic to think that the leaders in a lot of these companies that, some 20-year-old E4 is probably being exposed to better leadership that works in the field in very hostile environments.
that's also a big issue veterans have is when they go and get a job and somebody who's by their standard vastly underqualified to be in the leadership position is in charge, and it's just like pull my beard out.
Yeah, well, and you know that's another thing that we've discussed a lot about, you know, that in the past is, you know, you don't ETS. You know, I don't know who put this quote up on Battle Buddies a couple months ago, but we don't ETS, we PCS to our next duty station.
Yeah.
You know, and this is, you know, being a vet and going back to the regular world. It's, you know, you're going, it's like being, you know, I don't speak Spanish. I remember the first time I went to Mexico. I mean, I struggled to be able to speak to anybody. And, you know, this is no different. I mean, you can't expect the people in, you know, Puerto Vallarta or whatever to know English when you're on their turf. I mean, you know, English isn't your first language, right? And we're going to be having this conversation right now. If you know, everybody's expected to know everybody else's language, but that's a whole different story. But that's what it is with the veterans that we deal with is, you know, we hear this, well, why doesn't anybody get me? Why doesn't anybody understand? Why can't it be like it was when I was, you know, you know, with my boys on my infantry squad or whatever? That's just not the way the world works anymore. So this is, you know, adapt and overcome, right? That's what our mantra is. Hey, time to adapt and overcome, guys.
That's it.
That's it. The world's not going to change for you. I mean, you know, we get a lot of warriors in Battle Buddies that suddenly become these delicate flower princesses. It doesn't make any sense. And,
You know, I was talking to a new client today, and he's in the trades. He's an electrician, made his way up to journeyman. He's a foreman, not a veteran. And I asked him if either the company or the union gave him some sort of a supervisory training or leadership or anything like that. He's like, nope, no, they're like, here you go ahead and do it. Now imagine him being in competition with a veteran who has the same experience level, same credentialing and all that. Who's likely to get the next position, or who's likely to be more productive or more sought after, or who's setting themselves up for future success? The vet who's had leadership training and knows how to run a crew, or the guy that just did his time?
Disgruntled.
okay, so then when it comes to you getting your LinkedIn profile or your resume all squared away, then it's time for you guys to start the job hunting, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see right on here that Christian Nesham, I guess maybe that's how you say his name or her name, is the president at Vinifera Wine and Ales Incorporated. So another thing, Battle Buddies, if you guys don't have a LinkedIn premium account, you're also wrong for that one. Just go to
Definitely wrong.
linkedin.com/veterans and it'll redirect you to the site to get a free account for, I think I'm on free year number 8, I think.
I didn't know that was a thing, but then,
It
you
is a
know,
thing.
I'm always wrong. So, hey.
Yeah. Yep. So it gives you more of these in messages. So you can reach directly out to Christian here. And it gives you some better analytics and gives you insights as to what the compensation will be. It's listed in here already. It might be on one of this fleet job here. It'll give you kind of industry averages. But we'll just click on Christian here. And then what I can do is, since I'm a second away from him, oh, this is actually one of my good lifting buddies right here, Jeremy. So what I will do then is pick up my phone and give Mr. Jeremy a phone call and ask him how he knows Christian here and if I can get a nice introduction to him.
Well, there you go.
And then I send over that highly polished resume, and it should be a slam dunk at that point, because hopefully Jeremy won't Blue Falcon me. And he'll actually tell him the truth that I'm a really good dude to be hanging out with. Oh, we're going to unmute Kurt here for a second. Has to unmute. Hey, dude, I see your hands up, Kurt. You got to hit the unmute button. I can't do it for you.
I'm on break right now, so.
Oh, okay. Is that all you had to say? This is like working
Can't
with
wait for
animals
DC.
on a news broadcast that's live. When you get infantry guys in here, you don't know what to expect.
Right.
It's a joke.
Yeah,
Never.
we're like ADHD times 20.
Okay. So that is the most rudimentary way that we can break down for you how to find a job that you're interested on LinkedIn, bringing that job post over to the job scan to see how well or poorly you score, then reach out to a dude who hopefully is listed on here, or you can find some people that are at that company and get connected to them by using a cell phone. Hey, Pete, have we got any good questions in there that might constitute one of these Battle Buddies sticker starter packs this evening? Have you looked at any of that?
I haven't seen any questions.
Any
Hold on.
really awesome questions? Okay.
How would I see that? Sorry to be so ignorant.
Oh, we got to look in the comment section. I can look at it on my phone.
Yeah, I have a tiny little window. Not as you screen share. I don't really have any controls that I'm aware of, but
Yeah.
I'm incredibly ignorant on this.
Chris is talking about some fiber splicing. Okay, yep. Something about Thomas Jefferson. That must have been timed with a comment. I'm a fan of Thomas Jefferson, like with that Constitution thing. That's a whole nother subject. All right. So Sepe, any questions on how to do this, or should we do another run through on this, or what types of questions have you got on the stuff that we covered so far? And by the way, I can't remember what your dog's name is. What's your dog's name?
Redneck.
Redneck. Okay. Right.
I didn't name him. I saved him. He's a savior.
All right.
Now he saves me. So while you were talking, I went and activated my premium actually. So I did that. Super easy. LinkedIn.com /veterans takes you right to the page, and you scroll down little ways, and there is sign in, use as a veteran. It has a spouse option too, which I think is great. So I did that. Yeah. I really got everything you were saying. It's pretty basic, you know. Pay attention to your resume. Cater, you know, the basic stuff. Cater to the job you're gonna apply for. I guess I'm a really bad average Joe.
That's fine. All right. So here, I'm gonna run through this is one thing that happens often is when you take your working resume and you just use it in a dirty way and apply for shit blindly, right?
Spam.
Pete, how many thousands of times have you seen that?
I'm gonna tell you how many thousands of jobs I applied for trying that method years ago. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's junk mail.
Yep. So see, yeah, that's a good way to put it, right? It's a Publishers Clearinghouse stuff showing up to the door.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna rescan, new scan. We're gonna take that same LinkedIn profile that I got working. Oh, I gotta upload a new one, sorry. We'll take iteration number 8 here. Put that in there. And we're gonna scan, come on. Oops.
Slightly better.
What am I doing wrong? New scan. Why isn't it giving me the option to?
It's slow.
Oh, wait. I know why. I'm in the wrong thing. My LinkedIn scan. There we go.
Pull it together.
Goodness.
Whoa.
Such a failure.
All right.
I almost lose my microphone after I chastise you.
All right. There's that. And then paste the job description. Add that. Now here is what happens when you use the wrong resume that you wrote in TAP 14 years ago, and you're like, why the hell? I'm the most qualified guy on all of LinkedIn for this job. It seems like I wrote the job description myself. What else, Pete? What else gets thrown in on that conversation?
I know I can, if I can just talk to them, I know I can do this job.
It's a slam dunk, blah, blah, blah. The reason why I know this, guys, is because I've said it myself thousands of times.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Scored a 78. That was a really, well, okay.
Blind luck.
No, I'll say this. I know why it scored high is because a lot of my background's IT. I should have picked something that's just totally inappropriate for me. Like, be nice to people might be one, right? Team manager, enterprise.
Corporate ambassador.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not.
Full stack developer. Okay, this is something that should not work for me. I have zero background in development. Running those teams is a different story. But okay. Hopefully we get terrible results. Okay. I just need to be less techie.
Slightly less terrible.
Yeah. I'm going to take Nate's profile, which he was a paralegal guy for a long time.
What could possibly go wrong?
There we go. This might be better because his background is completely weird compared to mine. So 66%. Now, Pete, I've had some under 20. I don't know how many you've had under 20. If you come back scoring about 35, 38% rated there on the first pass. The point is, guys, is you have to optimize at least your resume. And preferably.
My audio is really messed up.
Oh, sounded clear to me.
So I'm going to back out of here.
Okay, sounds good. See you, Kurt. Thanks for joining. All right.
Sound good, but you probably couldn't hear well.
Yeah. Okay. So what other feedback, Pete, have you got for kicking in here? Should I stop sharing the screen? Good to go on there?
Yeah, I think so. We can take over kind of with our lovely faces.
Yes.
No, I think we covered it pretty well. I don't want to whip the horse too much, but again, it just goes back to making a good professional impression. Do the things that LinkedIn is asking you to do with a photo and a complete profile. Don't forget all the other sections that are there too, besides just your job experience sections, the stuff that you have to write. There's all kinds of other sections to help you complete the picture for that person. And just keep this in mind when you're writing a resume or whether you're doing a LinkedIn profile. These documents, they're not about you. They're about the person who has to read them. So do that accordingly. Once that really soaks in, your writing will take on a different tone.
Well said.
Make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about Sepe.
I'm good. I got it.
Good. All right.
You got this.
I never really got into using LinkedIn, which was my mistake. But now that I know I can get free premium, that's a game changer. Because you really are handicapped if you're not using it. There's a lot of features that just locked out of. Some jobs don't even look at you. It's like you say they look at how much effort are you putting into this, and you not having a premium account. Some people might be like, "Wow, he's not even bothering with that." Yeah. So, but that's I think we should get that message out there that hey, if you're a vet,
Guess how many times we've said it?
I don't know.
I'd run out of fingers like 100 times, if not more. Mm-hmm. And I have all of them.
Well, I guess they always mess on the wrong post.
Yeah, weird.
Weird.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Pete, Andres, Sepe, Oogie Boogie,
Yep.
whatever you want to go by today. So we wrap
Right.
this up and give these guys back their time for those fellas that have been watching, and ladies as well.
Thank you, people, for tuning in.
Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you.